Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Just United here with myself, Gov.
And myself, M Flows. You already know. And today we're going to be speaking about the big game coming up against Brighton away at the Amex Stadium, lunchtime kickoff. How are you feeling for it, Gov?
I'm not going to complain. We got the early kickoff, like Jurgen would say, put in a little bit of a complaint.
Jurgen, yeah?
But I'm not going to complain. I'm ready for it. It's going to be a big game, and yeah, let's see what happens.
You feeling confident for it?
I am. We got you boys next, and we're going to need to put the points on the board, keep the momentum going from the Fulham game, and yeah, let's get these points on the board and let's do it.
Mm-hmm. And of course, there's going to be some big players that are going to contribute in which way the result swings. And some of those players that we're going to touch on now, one of those being Casemiro. Gov, tell me your thoughts on Casemiro so far this season.
Do you know what he looks back to his old self. He done really well in the Fulham game. Played a couple of chances for Bruno. Was getting himself about in the pitch. And yeah, he looked back to his old self. Obviously, after last season, we know there's a high expectation on him, based on the performances that he had. He's giving away chances, making silly tackles, and he just looked off it. But this season, he looks in shape. He's dropped a few pounds, based off the pre. He's had a good preseason, and yeah, long way to continue. Let's hope he's back to his old self.
Well, I mean, I don't want to hope that he's back to his old self. I hope he stays that rubbish like last season. But of course, I do think, you made some fair points, etc. in the Community Shield against Man City and in the first game against Fulham. He did look a bit more on it, snapping into the tackles a bit more, played in Bruno a couple of times. And really and truly, Bruno should have at least scored one goal in
Yeah, he
that
should have
game.
finished one of those. Probably could have had a couple of assists and maybe even a goal as well. So, but yeah, he looks good. I'm hoping he has a good game. Obviously, because Brighton have got a lot of threats, and one of those threats I want to talk about as well is obviously our ex-player Danny Welbeck.
Good old Danny boy, you know me, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, you mentioned, of course, Danny Welbeck. He's going to have a big role to play in the game. Scored in the opening fixtures as well for Brighton.
Yeah, he looks sharp. He looks ready. I watched the highlights of the Everton game, and he's getting himself about, which he always does. He always puts in a shift, and he might not finish every single time, but he does look back to him. He does look really sharp. I was gonna say back to himself, but I haven't seen him regularly since. But he does look good.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, Welbeck playing against his old team, he's going to look like he's got that bit in between his teeth. He's going to want to prove a point and score and really cause your back for a lot of problems.
Yeah, he's obviously that's the threat that comes with him. He likes running in behind. He likes linking up play, and he can finish. Like, I'm not saying every single time he's going to, but when he's got a good chance, he will finish. He obviously can get his head on the ball as well. So yeah, that's I want to go into my starting 11 just because obviously how we're going to deal with that threat of Danny Welbeck. So I've gone with Bruno on the right, Xerxes up top, because I think we got to get him in the team after the last game. He's definitely got to get in the team after scoring. I think he should be rewarded for having a good performance. I've gone with Rashford on the left just because I don't think he's going to get dropped. I've gone with Mount in the 10, and I've gone Casemiro, Colby Mainoo holding. Good reason I've gone with Mount is because I think after the last game in Fulham, he pressed, like I said in the review of that game, he pressed 23 times in that game. I don't think Ten Hag will want to lose that press. Bruno can trigger it as well. So yeah, I think that's going to be the starting attack. And then in the defensive line, I've gone with Mazraoui right back. Again, he had a brilliant game against Fulham. Last season, obviously, we had Wan-Bissaka against Matoma. It's going to be a tough game, and let's see how he does. I've gone with De Ligt. I don't know if he'll start. Maybe I'll give him 30 minutes. uh, run out like he did in the last game.
Hmm.
He only gave him 10, so maybe
Hmm.
he'll give him 30 minutes this time.
Hmm.
I've gone with Martinez, obviously, because I think he brings that solidarity at the back in that defensive line. And I've
Hmm.
gone with Dallo playing left back, which he played a couple of times last season. Uh, so, yeah, I'm hoping, and obviously in honour and goals, I'm hoping we can get a result.
Shocking omission there, though, of Harry Maguire. Do you really think that Dillick's going to potentially start ahead of him? Maguire didn't have a bad game last game.
I know he didn't have a bad game, and you know what? You want that competition. So maybe if he does go out and he thinks, "Oh bloody hell, what do I need to do to get into the team? Do I need to have a better performance than that?" Which should be the standard at Man United. But the reason I've gone with that is because of how Brighton might set up based on their last game against Everton. So that's why um, I've put Delict instead of Harry Maguire, because I do think that they can expose him with the way that they play.
Yeah, of course, and you make a great point on Brighton and even Brighton's tactics. Of course, got a new manager now after De Zerbi's left, Fabian Hersler. I hope I haven't butchered that
Let him
pronunciation.
know if he has, guys. Don't forget to drop a comment.
Drop a comment, of course, if I have. But yeah, he's replaced De Zerbi, as I mentioned, and we've already touched on the fact that Welbeck scored in the first game, and they've got a lot of threats. Mitoma also got on the score sheet as
I'm
well, and
excited to see that matchup between him and Mazraoui. I think if he can lock him off and he can, play well against him, then I think he'll do well in the rest of the Premier League. And obviously we've got you boys next, so we need to make sure that we put in a shift.
yeah, of course. And speaking of us, we've got my old boy, good old James Milner, and I hope he absolutely has a screamer against you lot. And you know what?
I
We've
hope
not even
not.
and you know what? We've not even touched
He'll
on.
he'll definitely want to score against us. Obviously, playing for Liverpool for so long, he'll want to play against us. We know about João Pedro as well. Obviously, he played well last season. But yeah, they got a new manager, but they still look like they're a well-oiled machine.
Yeah, of course. And to be fair, there was one other player that you forgot to mention as well, Gov, which was Minter, and he looked like a really good signing. Had an amazing first game as well for Brighton as well. And we kind of saw, I guess, with the tactics, etc. Brighton really like to keep that ball centrally, play through the lines, etc., and get the ball up quickly to Welbeck so they can
Yeah,
put
they
those
do.
chances away.
They do like to keep it narrow, very narrow when they're playing. Obviously, we know Matoma can keep the width, and
Mm-hmm.
we know that Danny Welbeck is going to look to stretch out back line, but they
Mm-hmm.
do like to play through the middle and keep that pressure on. So that's exactly the reason why I haven't gone with Harry Maguire in defence, because they will look to expose him.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because, like I said, they like to play very narrow through the middle.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And actually, speaking on something else as well, no Ganacho in your lineup either. Actually, come to think of it, what happened there? He was one of your best players last season.
Yes, I didn't go with Garnacho just because, I want to get Xerxes into the team. Again, it's another one. Is he fit enough? Will he start? But I didn't go with Garnacho because I think this season, I think Ten Hag's kind of trying to break him in, because he's a little bit of a secret weapon as well.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to play him every game, and then burn him out. I think he's going to gradually build him up, and everybody does get a chance, but I I, I do think he won't want to lose that press. So who do you drop? Do you drop Mount? You can't drop him because he presses. Can't drop Bruno. You can't. He ain't going to drop Rashford, and he ain't going to drop Kobe Manu. He's going to
Mm-hmm.
need Casemiro for that defensive play. So yeah, somebody had to give way, and it had to be Garnacho. Again, he might start. I always believe that if you get a goal or you get an assist, you deserve to be in the next game.
Mm-hmm. And actually, speaking of the next game, etc., against Brighton, tell me your score prediction then for this game. Then.
I'm gonna go 2-1. I'm gonna go 2-1. I think we got a good chance. We got to defend well, keep our shape. But I'm gonna go 2-1. I hope we get a result.
And just obviously speaking about your 2-1 prediction, who do you think is going to score for yourselves?
I'm hoping Rashford to get on the score sheet.
Mm-hmm.
Do worlds for his confidence.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping he gets on the score sheet, and I'm hoping Xerxes can keep on the scoring run.
Okay. Well, just to give you a heads up, my score prediction is actually 2-1 the other
Alright
way,
then.
and I hope Welbeck either bags a brace, maybe even if there's a penalty incident, James Milner can contribute to that scoreline as well.
I'm hoping not. I'm hoping, you obviously we've got a makeshift defense in terms of like they haven't played together with each other a lot. So
Mhm.
let's see what happens, but hopefully we can keep a clean sheet and get a result. But my prediction's 2-1.
Fair enough. Well, we'll have to see on the day, won't we? But I hope Brighton get that result, and the pressure's on Tenog when he plays us.
Yeah, next game. But that was the Manchester United preview for the Brighton game, and we'll catch you on the next one, guys. See you later.
Thank you. And if you'd like, drop us a comment below, like, share, and subscribe too.